Oh, good morning. Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. Getting a little cloudy today, but maybe it'll help it not be as hot as it was yesterday. So back here on the farm, it's now September, and we've got a little bit of work to do, but not as much as yesterday. So if we head over to the PDA, again, we harvested these two fields in August. We're now looking at 41 as one that is ready, and that is a sorghum field. If we turn this on and off, we can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and get my equipment over there and begin that work. And, obviously we're also going to have to create an addition to our auto drive network to unload the fields. So this will really be the first time we'll be kind of heading over here, seeing what's going on. Alright, so as I head over, I've gone ahead and just decided I'll throw down the two-way auto drive network here, and it may be a little bit too long because I'm worried I'm going to have some collisions as trucks head back and forth from the field, but take a look, and I'm going to try to be optimistic that this will work. So a suggestion that someone gave, which is actually one I hadn't thought of, and quite good, to avoid the trucks piling up on each other, is to basically create the same number of unload points as I have pairs of working equipment. So as I marry up a truck and a harvester, if I have 3 unload points and 3 harvesters and trucks, then they won't kind of jump on each other. So it's easy enough, unload 1, 2, 3, and then I will go ahead and keep the combine number the same as the unload point. So yeah, this is a big map. Just circling out here near the field to even get back is pretty significant. So I'm definitely going to run another line down here, and then maybe I can create some different crosses or whatever on the road. But my concern is it's still going to be, they're still going to take the same path, because if they can go both ways, they will do that, and they'll take that shortest path. If I go here, I'm going to want to join into the existing set of networks. So let me turn this back. We'll connect here to here, here to here, and more importantly, we're gonna, not sure, yeah, okay, I'll be able to see it. We're gonna connect here to here. Alright, it finally is. So again, as you're laying down auto drive networks, there's always this troubleshooting phase you go through, and because it links up automatically the way I have it set, this isn't really attached to anything. So what I need here is I need this to this, and then I should be able to do what I was doing, which is be on that path, which is a short one-way path at that point, and then be able to get where I need to just by going straight ahead. So there we go. So this may work Or it may be a royal disaster. We'll find out. So I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so we've got this truck out in the field here. And at this point, okay, that won't work because I've got a combine sitting at field 41 unload 1 that has driven there, and so I've got to actually change that over. So let me head over here. Oh. So there we go. So he's gotten here, but of course, yes, the others have had a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these and get them connected and ready to go. Now hopefully, again, he's going to know this is there. Don't run into my header. He almost did. Well, 2 trucks have showed up. Thought pushing it might get me to connect, but it didn't. There we go. Alright, then we can fold, we can change, we can unfold. And yeah, now I'm kind of out of the way here. This will be interesting as I create my network here. So let's see. Again, too many things in too tiny of a space. So now we'll head on over to Combine 1 and we'll do our Courseplay course. So right now, you know, they're saved with where they were. This is also going to be the leftmost. So we need to head here. And I probably need to clear the course. Let's see. There we go. If I do that, and then we'll head into the map here. So we want active workers. So one thing I did adjust is there's a angle difference at goal, which is at 45, and I changed that to 10. That bigger values are faster but less accurate. I'm hoping that that will have an impact as they work on things here, but I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. Okay, let me turn off auto drive again. That creates some conflict. So if I create the job, and at this point I want this field, I want to just take a look. So yeah, it looks like it's finding things. And once again, my target position is there, so I'm going to want to go this way and up the field this way. And we'll let it do its thing. So if I go to the course generator, I want 3 tools, I want 1 headland sharp. Nothing should need to be changed here. I just noticed this field margin, so I'm wondering if I can increase that a bit, and then, you know, that will give me less overlap. So positive values reduce the field size, and negative ones enlarge the work area beyond the field boundary, which I'm willing to give a try. I didn't go too far, so I think that'll work. Alright, so let's generate the course. Again, because these fields are so large, it does take a bit of time. Again, that actually is significantly faster than I would have honestly expected. On these diagonal ones, I'm always looking for a travel that takes me in a strange location, but this actually might work out well. And this is the left. So if I start the job, that gets him moving. What is he doing? I'm just curious now, is he going to take off and do something crazy? Alright, so now he's going to unfold and fold. And then he's going to head over there. And it looks like he's going to start working. Alright. The problem is, what I need to do is open the course generator. Actually, I don't need to open the course generator. I might have been able to do this without doing what I'm doing, but let me create a new folder. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure this out in my head, so I understand I'm clunking around, but I'm hoping it's helpful for people to see. Again, so I'm going to call this Harvest 41 so that it's more obvious as opposed to the others just being Harvest. Okay. So I'm going to back up at this point to, maybe the location here. Alright, so now it's Harvest 41. I'm going to basically have it start at first waypoint. Then I'm going to go ahead here. We're going to change to this. Let's see. Clear the current course, and then we're going to load the course. Activate. Alright, so it's Harvest 41. He's in the center. And then run back here to the third one. And he's to the right first. And then we come here, clear the current course, load the course, activate, and Harvest 41. No, but we want him on right 1. Alright. So let me just go back to... I was going to try to just start him, but I want to start them in order again. So we'll do that. We'll grab what I think is number 2, if I can get there. We'll do that. And then this number 3, yes. Then we'll start him, and in theory now they should all start rolling, or at least these two will. No, he's actually starting up there too. He's lowering his header, which is a good sign. So I think they're all going to, well, it was a good sign. Now they're all, okay, I guess they're going. It's always a little intriguing on how this all will play out. But I think they're heading in the right direction, albeit a little chaotically. That's probably the nicest thing I can say about it. The challenge here is, again, that they don't run into each other, because they're, of course, getting strangely close. So I'll keep my control here in case I need to intervene. It's getting dangerously close. And they're still dangerously close, but they are doing what they need to be doing, just once again, a bit chaotically. Alright, so this is field load, unload 1. Let me go back to him. Pull up auto drive for him now. He's field load, unload 1, which which is what I expected. He should be unload 2. He is. Okay. So then what I need to do is just make sure I've got trucks that are set. I do. They're waiting for the call. Alright, so this one I should be able to... There we go. Now he should hopefully get there. Although, what I'm going to do with him is honestly, I'm going to change this, because I just realized I've got a... I've got to get him emptied from the silo. Okay, so he's all set. But now I'm questioning... Yeah, it like won't let me pick the truck here. And he is empty as well. Okay, so I think we're good. The harvesters are heading off into the wild blue yonder. Again, at 60%. They're going to pick themselves up, and they're going to continue to do their thing, but not too bad. About half an hour into the morning, and we're busy working on getting sorghum off the field. Alright, so he's heading around. So yeah, my hope here is that the truck will always go this way because I have a one-way direction on part of the leg of this loop. And so the AI is smart enough to know the only way I can get to Silo North and then continue is this way. But what may end up happening is it'll come in the other way and then just stop, because it'll have gotten to the point, which is, I guess it would happen either way. So, alright, so now let me switch this back to unload combine. And now I can switch this to unload 1. And now he should go do that. Alright, so we're up here, 57%. Good news is it does appear we did leave like one plant there, but that's not too bad. So I'm hoping that negative 0.6% or whatever it is, the negative 0.6, is helping that. Yeah, this sorghum, the way it harvests, it's just really hard to tell from up above if I've left a plant or if I haven't. But it looks like we're okay. Yeah, so at this point, once again, we should be perhaps having trucks being called. So there you go, now they're all putting out their pipe, which is the universal harvester sign for come empty me. And there's the third one doing it. So now we know they're all at 60%. So let me look at the map. Yep, trucks are on their way. Goodness. Let me change that to 400. I mean, it's okay now because they're going to stop and I think they're spread apart enough. Alright. I'm going to, again, manually intervene. Go head over here and then get him emptied so he can spread out. And then hopefully with the convoy distance set to 400 now, they'll all kind of remain a little bit further apart. But if I do this, they're not going to run into each other and create a problem. Alright, we'll drive along with him, and we'll manually do this at this point to, in essence, prime the pump of this hopefully working the way we need it to work. So, a little bit of a challenge here, and this is a way you can certainly do this, where you just have the harvesters run and, you know, take over one of the trucks and assist a little bit. It gives you some ability to be a bit hands-on. I think we're okay, yeah. So he's trying to follow along. and keep him going, which is great. That would ultimately be the best way for these to interact, but I know they won't do that all the time. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is open up the doors, and we are going to go ahead and, I think, plant one of these fields, because if I look at my calendar, yes, I can plant wheat, barley, or canola. So if we want to go ahead and do that, that'll give us some options there, and we can then have all these jobs going together. So these are not numbered because we're not able to number tractors. They're not set up that way in the shop. I may regret this because I'm not starting in a corner, but this is how we test out Courseplay, right? Alright, so I don't need any auto drive on these tractors, so I'm going to turn that off. I can do wheat, barley. I can't do oats yet. Then look at the map. Okay, so these are sunflowers, these are cotton, and I think those are soybeans. Alright. So yeah, I'll do this field in wheat, I'll do this field in barley. Good news is all these circles are still dancing around the field. Oh, especially with that. I'm half curious how that worked out. Oh, not bad. I didn't realize it had that little button there, or whatever we want to call it. Alright, he's down to 6%. Alright, so he's where we want him. So we're going to create the job. It's going to be a Courseplay field work job. The field is here. The target position will be here and here, just so that it's ahead of them. And then we're going to open this. We're going to set tools to 3. Number of headlands 1. Do sharp. We're going to set this to -6 because we, don't know if that really works or not, so why not? And then we're going to generate the course. This is a wider implement than my harvester, so it should even be simpler. Hopefully it won't freeze. I might regret this because I haven't saved the game. And that would be very unfortunate. Alright, so sadly, I was unsuccessful in getting Courseplay to actually come back. So I'm getting everything reset. You can see I haven't even moved forward into September yet. I'm just going to get everything there because it doesn't really matter when I do it. I'll move things forward because obviously the crops won't be ready to harvest. But, I'll get my auto drive network recreated, this and that, and get everything moving, and then we'll jump back to hopefully about where we were. But it's going to take me, an hour of rework to do that. So, lesson learned for those of you who are trying to do anything and work with Courseplay or any of the tools on a huge map like this that could potentially run into some issues. Save often. I should have done that before I went ahead and played with the seeders, because there's always that possibility. Video will restart once we're at that point, so I'll see you in a bit. Alright, So I've got everything restaged, learned a couple things, such as if I'm making sure they're all connected on the direction here, that they all come in the same way, they won't bump into each other. Now that doesn't mean they won't have a problem later, but at this point all three of these trucks are ready to go. And so the other thing I learned is Courseplay wasn't attached to the save game per se, in that the course I had generated on field 41 for the harvesters was actually already there. So I had recreated the course or something close to it, and then was clearing the combine, and then was getting ready to save the course, and then realized it was already there. So I didn't have to redo any of that, which was great. It's just then a matter of, you know, will I be able to do the other part with the tractors? And I'm guessing it's still going to be a problem, but I'm going to give it another shot. So I'm back. You can see driver C heading up on field 41 above the menu here. So the combines are running. You know, I'm doing this a little bit earlier than I had on the previous version, but was just, hey, let me get in here and let me do what I need to do. So you can see behind the menu, field 43 has generated a course for the seeders. I'm just going to double check quickly. I've got my margin. I do have multiple tools. The difference is I set the start point along this straight field edge instead of trying to do it this way and pointing it that way. That may have been the difference. The other thing was I had gone ahead and like clicked the generate course again at one point, and that may have also been my downfall. But I'm going to go ahead and get all the rest of the tractors hooked up, and then I'll get back here and we'll see if we can get them starting to plant some wheat. Alright, so I'm not sure how this is all going to play out, so I've decided I'll maybe pick this thing up here. So they've all unfolded. They're all starting to move. The one thing I forgot to check, yeah, still want to keep their distance. It's just interesting because the start point is nowhere near in the direction that they're headed. So what I've discovered, as you can see, is the start point is here, which is interesting. So I'm going to need to get these guys untangled. Alright, so I think I've got them in a position. You can see... let's see. This maybe... I may need to do something else. Hold on. Yeah, they are in fact not planting, so I think I need to cultivate. Alright, so you can see we've got several plows, or cultivators here. So we've got to go cultivate the field. I see what I did. I thought I had bought a seeder that didn't require cultivation, and I was wrong. Alright, so I've got the trucks moving along. I've redone basically the loop here to be one way. So that should solve that problem. You can see there's one done, another one's lined up behind it. They did kind of collide on the loop in the field. Again, I can always change that to be a one-way loop too, but we'll see if they continue to have problems. So I am heading over. You can see I've got 2 of the 3 cultivating teams ready to go. and or 2 of the 3 members of our cultivating team. How about that? That's probably more accurately descriptive of what we've got. This is the lead. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get this going. Of course, I've had other hiccups at other auto drive or you know, automated areas. So once these guys are going, we'll go deal with that. The harvesters were acting up. So we'll see how that all lays out. But at this point, I'm hoping they don't again run into each other. Probably again, no, it's actually at 400, amazingly. So hopefully they'll stay separated. So he's beginning where I would expect him to begin. That should be the center, this should be the right. And I would imagine they'd make relatively short work of this field, even though the size it is. So I had dabbled with the idea. You can see I've left the planters at the side of the field over there. I could theoretically buy 3 more tractors and then have the planters go along shortly behind the cultivators and just really have some crazy movement here. But I'm just not sure if if I want to tackle that right now. I'll think about it because I'm actually at a point where I'm going to have to take a break and we'll be restarting things pretty soon. But, alright, so these guys are good. Let's see. He's moving. We might actually be okay. So basically the situation that occurred, as you can kind of tell and imagine, is we started getting into the field and you've got really short runs and basically 2 harvesters had run into each other. So I'm in as good a spot as I could be, I think, with all my automation. Again, the potential problem here is the same issue with what we're going to lovingly call the thumb. Yeah, I think we're going to run into a problem here because, yeah, you can see he's turning up. Yep, we're definitely going to have an issue. So let me just, again, circumvent this. And at this point, they should steer clear of each other. And they should operate independently. So you can see we've got a nice view here. We've got the tractor just fading away. Over on the other field, if I go back here, now we can see them. So we've got the couple tractors that are cultivating next door. The third one's not visible. You can see the field disappearing back there, but can't see the tractor yet. And we've got the trucks and the harvesters moving around. So yeah, we definitely have a very busy farm here. Alright, so I must say I'm loving all this. There's just tons of stuff going on, and because of that, I just want to make it crazier. So I've gone ahead and bought 3 more tractors, positioning them up so that when the cultivators go by, I might wait a little while. Well, I probably will almost certainly wait a little while. Get the seeders going eventually. I'm going to go ahead. I'm like so excited to try this that I'm gotta be careful I don't mess myself up. So, we know the start point is here, and at this point it's gonna be crisscrossing the other end of the field. So I've got time to line myself up here. So this is kind of the issue now. I've got so much moving around. They're crashing into each other left and right. There's just so much happening. He's left. He's wheat. We're doing first. Start. So again, first, center. Let me make sure on the distance again. Let's get these 400. Let me just... I want to make sure now that... Okay, so see, he doesn't... So I don't know if I have to set this on each vehicle or not. And you know what? I probably need to start and stop again to get it to have any hope of recognizing the 400. Alright, he's 400. Alright, let me stop and start again. This is all falling apart. So sad, I thought I had it. Darn it. So yeah, so he's doing that. The other one will be heading out. I think we're okay. Just a matter now of, are they going to stay clear of each other, the cultivators? Because I think here, as long as these guys now... See, I don't know which way they're going to go. I think they're going to get in the way of the cedar. Alright, I'm going to pause this because otherwise I think I'm just asking for a tangled disaster. Yeah, so this is going to try to go, because he needs to get over there. So again, this might be where we say we bit off more than we can chew, and we give it up. But I'm a stubborn pain, so the problem becomes, again, to not pick up one of the edge points here. Because if I really move over to the right where I need to be, you know, he'll be in the wrong place. Come on, there we go. What I can do, I think, is if I do this, they'll start moving, and they'll free each other up. There you go. But yeah, this truck is 100% full. And so he keeps getting himself stuck there. Come on, you can do it. Be brave. Fly, little birdie, fly. Alright, the cedars are up there. These guys are down here. They're just, yeah, potentially going to hit each other there, although it looks like by the time these go back, the cedars will be long gone. So I'd like to say I can just let these keep going. I just don't know that I can. But yeah, see, because it's got to get that other corner, it's going to hack pieces of this out. So this is looking less and less like a good idea, to be honest. You know, now it's possible they're going to come back through here and they'll just reseed this, because they'll be running similarly to what we're running. But at this point, yeah, it's... You know, we're taking out stuff that we really would rather not be taking out. But I think the key thing to note is all this work began, since we're running in real time, 2 hours ago. And even with all the challenges we've had, like, a lot of work has happened in 2 hours because of all this automation. So, even with the challenges, and I think it actually almost gets to be more of a clear value doing what we're doing, where I've in essence got 3 different jobs. I'm harvesting, I'm cultivating, and I'm seeding. And so the fact that I've got basically 9 implements running around the field at this point, you know, it's pretty hard to beat. Now we're going to run into the next challenge here, that these seeders are going to run out of seed and have to be refilled. Now that will certainly need to be a manual process, and you know, we'll go from there. So I'm going to save the game. I'm going to try to let it run. I just don't know what's going to happen. Alright, so just because I'm kind of at the point in this series of I'm just testing the limits of things, I came across this auger wagon, and it's going to need another quad track to move it. But this just feels like so much like this just needs to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this, and then buy another tractor to move it along. This is going to be how I deal with my seeds. Are these guys stuck in some reason? I don't even know what's happening now. They were working just fine a moment ago. Ah, everything is stopped. This guy going. Yeah, this thing is just massive. I'm sure it's going to be a disaster, but it'll be fun to try. There it is, one giant bin. That was the other thing I was wondering, is as a hopper, what does it look like? I might regret filling this, but we've got enough money that we can solve our problems with money in some cases, and if not, we've got power tools to give us more. I'm hoping everyone's enjoying a little bit of the nuttiness of this as it sits. So we have $142,000 of seeds. Yeah, this is gonna get ugly. There's gotta be a way to make this work. Gotta be. Now, I will say the reality probably is if I didn't have a quad track, I'd probably have no hope of this. Crazy seed tender. Walkabout Mother Bins is probably the best name I've ever seen for something like that. The harvest continues. We'll be a lot further along when I see you next time. Alright, so it just occurred to me it might actually help to just kind of take a look at what we've got. So this is where we stand. We've got, you know, a good amount of field 43 getting replanted on field 41. You can see the harvest is really moving along quite well. We're nearly complete with that field, which is amazing. But yeah, I thought it might be helpful to take a peek at that and just make sure, you know, that we understood the true magnitude of what we've gotten done so far. Alright, so the cultivators are getting close to being done. I had to intervene, which is again not expected at this end because they're all moving around in very, very tight quarters. So hopefully this will be it on this, and this job will be done. One of the things you learn pretty quickly is that there's some intervention that needs to happen. Like maybe with that cultivator out there, I'm not sure where he's going. The other one ran off the field. We've got one of the seeders is out of seed, so we're just gonna have to go find it. Clearly, even with the full horsepower, this thing has a challenge towing this, and I'm assuming all three of these seeders are gonna need attention pretty close together. Alright, there we go. Didn't notice there's a... Let's see if that little LCD panel pops out. Yeah, see it folded up. It's kind of cool. Cool design, so you can see it has the total, but when you put the auger out, that flips up so that I'm sure you can see it from the mirror. But we still have 200,000 liters of seeds, so we're probably okay for a bit. Yeah, it's interesting because with previous versions of Courseplay, like it would not have any issue taking off again. So this is strange that we have to re-engage it. Alright, so we've got the last one to fill, and then we'll be all set. So about 10% of the seed. Hopefully we can then just park this, and this will definitely sit outside one of the sheds. It's a shed unto itself. Maybe we'll leave it on this viewpoint here. That'll let everything happen.
There's nobody else better than me around. You know I'm the type to stand out in a crowd. You might be jealous, but I can't help it now. I'm like a diamond, can't stop me from shining bright. People stop and stare when I am in the sight. I look expensive, yeah, they all want this life.
Well, there's clearly some sort of issue corners of the fields because we've got a runaway seeder here. I mean, refuel vehicle. He's got fuel. He's not empty. I don't understand this. Right, well, it's not asking me to refuel, which is good. Alright, well that's good. I didn't see that pass before, but there's at least enough separation there that they can do what they need to do. At this pace, it's looking like we may be done with the work we need today, or at least right now. By noon, I may actually end up doing some more work here, since I've got more daylight, and we've clearly got the automation working pretty well, so we may get field 90. I think it is cultivated that has nothing on it and get something planted in there. And do something with 43 as well. So that will be the plan, assuming that things go according to where they appear to be headed right now. So the good news is it appears that I am going to make it before I run out of fuel on this harvester. I think this is the one that's most in jeopardy, but we're 10 waypoints away. We can see the stop sign there. We obviously then do have to wait for the truck to arrive and empty us. But, you know, we've got more than... It's not like the green has vanished entirely, so I think we're in good shape. I'm going to need to buy a refueler anyway. I'm going to go ahead and get my Thunder Creek equipment. Alright, so I'm having some difficulty getting this all to finish up for some reason. Maybe because it's all too close together, I don't know. But I'm manually trying to get this finished. I may need to do the same thing with that harvester, because it just doesn't want to go at this point again, because we're just got this little piece. I can then zip forward to do the final piece. This really isn't that big of a deal to do manually, and it's not as if I don't ever want to drive a piece of equipment again. We're just obviously doing the majority of the work in this series with automation just because of the size. So at this point, you know, we're right at noon, as I said. I'm going to go ahead and definitely call this episode a wrap. You know, we're going to get things emptied out. We're going to get everything back to the silo and so forth. But, you know, beyond that, I think I'm going to find some more work that can get done today. And, you know, I'll do that in the next episode. So I will see you next time.